Sheriff Selena Reyes, Councilors Felina Santiago and Councilor Gregory Del Rosario. Pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2022, this meeting of the Ordinance Committee is being conducted both in person and via remote participation. A reminder that persons who would like to listen to view this meeting while in progress may either attend in person at this location, or use any of the following access locations, including the Lawrence City Council Facebook page and the Lawrence City Council YouTube page. Councilors, would you please rise from the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, councilors. As a courtesy to our colleagues, as I'd like to get them out, and we also like to take city employees out. They have a very long day when they show up here tonight. So, Council Vice President, you're here for an item. I believe it's the first one, as a matter of fact, 40324.
Good evening, Chair LaPlante and fellow Ordinance Council members. I'm here for item
40324.
40324, which is the dedication for Officer Jacob Essie, who was killed in the line of duty on June 23rd, 1968. I've recently found out that my predecessor, former City Councilor Dave Abdu, did submit a home rule petition to get Officer Essie recognized here in the City of Lawrence. This was on April 27th of 2021. However, it was paused. So now I'm just here trying to finish the work that former Councilor Dave Abdu was trying to accomplish. And I have here Officer Cuddy, who knows a little bit more about the family and his legacy, and I'm going to turn it over to him.
Thank you, councilors, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Thomas Cuddy, Lawrence Police Department. Not to correct my good friend and counselor here, he was actually, he was on July 13th, 2022, Governor Baker actually signed the home rule petition into law.
I read the wrong date. Sorry.
It's my highlights. It's my fault. I'll be. So basically, just a long and short of the story. In September of 1986, then Officer Essie responded to a call on Crawford Street on in the Lawrence Housing Authority. It was a domestic. He encountered the suspect and the victim of the domestic. The suspect overcame him, and basically, in long and short of the story, is pounded his head into the curbing, and he was never right after that, and he passed away from those injuries in 1993, May of 1993. To a man living or dead, to have daughters is tenacious and is caring and about their father's legacy. The Essie, five daughters, and his wife, who still lives on Stevens Ave in South Lawrence, the family home, actually right next door to former Councilor Abdu. So this went through, as you know, many of you, I was looking at the home rule petition today, many of you were on the council at the time when it's approved. Representative Moran brought it to the State House, and Governor Baker signed it into law on July 13th, 2022. We were there for a nice ceremony. Former Chief Vass was there, Councilor Abdu, and the mayor came with his staff and presented a citation that day. That led to getting his name on the National Memorial in Washington in May of 2023. That is no small task. They're very, very, very strict for that. The criteria is reviewed, and by virtue of getting on the National Memorial in Washington, you then automatically go on the State House Memorial right next to, between One Ashburton and the State House, the Law Enforcement Memorial, and he's been on that too. So this is a way of bringing all of this together back in Lawrence. His wife's getting up there in years, and we'd like to do this while she's still with us. On a side note, as part of the construction of the new police station, there's going to be the Lawrence Police Memorial is going to be relocated there, and it's more so because it's in a beautiful spot now, but not a lot of people know where it is. But it's going to be relocated there, and in relocating it there, we're going to not only honor Officer Essie, but we're going to honor the other 4 Lawrence officers that were also killed in the line of duty honors, and they're going to be prominently displayed in the courtyard of the new police station. So this is just the, basically the culmination of a lot of work. Like I said, Councilor Abdu worked very hard on this. A lot of people supported it, and including many of you councilors present and past councilors, and I'm happy that Councilor Infante is bringing this forward on the family's behalf. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, we didn't really declare the family's requesting that it be on the corner of Corbett and Mount Vernon. I know we said the Stevens Street area, so we hadn't nailed that down yet, so we're asking for your support in moving it forward to the full council.
Comments, questions, motions?
Motion to send to the full council with favorable recommendation.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Del Rosario, seconded by Vice Chair Reyes. Discussion. I'm not sure I'll have a chance to speak next Tuesday or next Thursday, right? We're moving it up to date, but,
Wednesday, yeah.
Is it Wednesday, Thursday?
so I think all of that is good. The only thing I'll say this tonight, and if I speak next Thursday, I will say the same thing. Let's be very careful of how we word these signs. I went to one recently. It was a train wreck of a sign, unfortunately. I'm not going to mention the sign. We are the city. We're the ones doing this. It should be coming from the city. And that's the perspective that these signs, because they're going to stay there for a while. I just hope that we do that. One of the things as well with the sign, when you do the signs, I'm going to presume this is going to pass, because we only, like you said, we had 4 or 5.
He will have been the fifth.
The 5th, killed in a line of duty. I think it's powerful if you put a picture of the individual on the sign, because over time, we tend to forget who these people are. Trust me when I say that. And so it's important that there's a connection, and the pictures are very powerful. So that's the one thing I would ask. I think it's great that it's in the intersection that the Vice President and I share in that neighborhood. So I think that's fantastic. And
Councilor LaPlante, I do want to point out, Officer Cuddy did mention that to me as I walked in this evening. So if I would have known earlier, I would have let you know, because I do know we share that.
Vice President, there is absolutely
I will let you know.
there's no offense taken on this. I think this is fantastic. So
And I also,
I'm taking all the blame for you, Councilor.
I'll connect with you offline, because I would like to know about that sign, just to make sure that we make this
sure.
sign right.
Sure. So that's it. So I think it's fantastic, and I hope the family will be here for that evening of that Thursday night.
Yeah, I will invite them in.
Great,
Absolutely.
great. And can we make sure we have a copy of this in our packet as well? Is this for us? Or you want this back?
I submitted
Is it in our packet?
I pack it to
Is it in here?
the city clerk.
Okay.
Do a lot.
It is in here. We have it. I'm so sorry. We got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so.
I'm so sorry. We do have it.
I wasn't sure if you guys have it or not.
I'm happy you have it, because I don't want to get the city clerk in trouble.
Outstanding. If there's no further discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Thank you very much,
welcome.
Councilor.
Yep. We're going to take, if there's no objection, we do have another city employee here that I would like to get that individual off the clock and back home. If there's no objection, 40124 on page 2. This is the name of the park on Canal Street at Oxford Paper, unofficially called the Oxford Park in honor of Julio Silverio, so former city councilor Julio Silverio. Welcome, Director.
Good evening, Ordinance Committee. Good evening, Chair Frank Cirillo, Economic Development Director, City of Lawrence, 360 Merrimack Street. Just in case you don't have it, I'm providing you with a map invitation.
Do we have it in the packet? Super. Is it for all of us?
Yep.
Great.
I got it.
You have one already? Okay. I think we're good.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Director, why don't you go ahead and give your presentation and why we should name something after former city councilor Silverio?
Not only is Ms. Severio a former city councilor, she was a former member of the Lawrence Alliance for Education, licensed as a property and casualty and life insurance agent, founder of the Julia Consulting Agency and Travel Agency, previously licensed as a real estate broker, first Latina appointed as Justice of the Peace for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Notary Republic since 1980, first Dominican woman elected city councilor for not only the city of Lawrence, but for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the United States. Recent recipient of the Tribute to Women in Business Award twice, recipient of the Immigrant Learning Center Immigrant Entrepreneur Award, Latin Pride Award, Circulo Dorado Award, served as a member of the Lawrence Alliance for Education, 5 years, treasurer of the Hispanic Week for 5 years, and vice president for 1 year, Women's Guild at Los Trinitarios Social Club, public relations and coordinator, recipient of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Heroines Class of 2022, a recipient of the Eartha Dillinger Award by the Lawrence Historic Center, served on the board for Lawrence General Hospital, served on the Central Catholic High School board for 4 years, selected as Dominicana Embajadora by the Semana Cultural Festival Dominicano, Inc. de Boston, and served on the board of Lawrence Partnership, member of the Greater Lawrence Family Development Charter School, and instrumental in the development of the charter school in Lawrence, served on the board of Greater Lawrence Foundation, named one of the 60 most influential women in the Merrimack Valley, awarded the Lawrence Award for Dominican Women in Business in the U.S. by the Association of Dominicana de Mujeres Empresarias, recipient of the Dominican American National Roundtable Leadership Award, recipient of the Dominicanismo Award in 2018, a major player in making Essex Street turn back to a two-way street by Mayor Sullivan, Michael Sullivan, that is, the most active participant and advocate as the city council to ensure the construction of the new high school at its present site. So, I mean, Julia Severio has been a longtime advocate for the city of Lawrence and inspirational leader in the field. And served 2 terms on the city council.
Comments, motion? Councilor Del Rosario?
Thank you to you, Council President. Director, how do we end up, how do we pick this space or this place and why?
This park has been unnamed since its inception. And I'm just bringing it off the table because I was asked to bring it off the table. Nobody came down to represent this particular item, and it's a very important item as we are addressing the issue of making sure that we're recognizing former elected officials and inspirational leaders in the city of Lawrence.
I mean, I like the fact that that we are recognizing her once again alive. That's one thing that I like. I love that. I think people should be recognized when they're alive, and they should see the recognition. We shouldn't wait for people that pass away to recognize it. That's my personal opinion. But I mean, she's a long resident of my district, in District C. We have precious land places up there, precious places. Why, once again, South Lawrence, that area, what is being developed, not just, I mean, being developed, and I know she has her business right near there, but, and I understand, I mean, there's no pressure of And that's also appreciated that you did your due diligence to pick the place that we don't have to argue about it, basically, right? Who belongs to, who is named after. It's a pretty cool. But my question is, why that place when, again, near where she lives, we have precious land up there that we could
So
use
this
to
is
dedicate something like that.
In North Lawrence, through you, Committee Chair. And it's also the gateway of the city. So when people coming in through the city of Lawrence off of 495, 113 is on the very gateway of the city. So it's actually at the old COVID site, just above it. So it makes perfect sense. It is, as you well alluded to, it's an unnamed park. And who are better to show the status of the city by recognizing, in your words, one of our former elected officials, one of the most influential people in the city of Lawrence while they're still alive.
Council Vice Chair.
Comments? What my colleague mentioned, I believe when we recognize the people alive, it's amazing. But when we take a time to recognize the people working for decades and decades in our community, to moving forward, it's my pleasure to see project like that. Thank you.
Any further discussions or a motion?
Motion to send to the full council with favorable recommendation.
Second.
Motion made by Council Del Rosario, seconded by the Vice Chair. Discussion. So I think the councilor from District C's comment was outstanding, which is, I think that it's important to name, there needs to be some sort of nexus, some sort of connection between the location of the site versus where that person has a connection. I tend to agree with the counselor that, I understand why this is selected. It's going to be widely traveled, and if you're going to honor somebody, you want a lot of people to drive by it. That's only half the battle, because the other half of the battle is reminding people the story. No one knows about Campagnon, no one knows about O'Connell, no one knows about a lot of different parks surrounding. We can give them names, but at some point, it doesn't really make a difference where they are, because no one's going to remember the story. Great. Some of us know the story because we've talked about it a little bit in this council, so we kind of know it, thankfully. But the councils that are going to be sitting here when we're all gone, I don't know if they're going to know who Julio Silverio is unless we make something about that. So, and I think part of the story is having it near a place that there's a connection. So I actually agree with that. I want to know why the mayor, because the mayor sent it down, you listed all the different awards and accolades. So clearly, it's not like she hasn't received recognition. She's got a ton of recognition. I mean, you spend a minute reading all those things. A lot of people, love her, respect her, and while she's clearly alive, have given her time and make sure that she was prominent. We're about to name a park after her as well. Why? Why is the mayor? There's so many other people as well. Why Councilor Silverio? I'm going to call her Councilor. I served with her, so I can call her that. We can all call her that. Go ahead.
Why Councilor Silverio? It could be why not. But when you're looking at, and just to answer something that you said, this is a person who's been influential in a lot of things, and leading the way for most of us who have run after her, as Latinos, Dominican, Puerto Rican descent, along with many others who pioneered and paved the way. To say, I mean, Councilor De Rosario is correct, and maybe we should have done something within her district, but to be honest, and to me, Lawrence is a district. And that represents everybody. And she's represented everybody, not just from her district, but from across the whole city of Lawrence. It was just somebody I've said a lot of my way of doing it, doing things I do in a political aspect is making sure that I'm representing everybody that I represent. not just one district, not just one city, but multiple cities. So I cannot see why Julio Silverio wouldn't be there, that person that we recognize. And this particular site is a very precious site. But to something that you said earlier about making sure that we have, not just naming a park, but putting something there that shows the story and the trajectory of why this person, for generations to come after us. Same thing with the park, Campion Park, as one of the Methuen city councilors is actually a relative for the family, which is something I found out through you, council chair.
Right. So, I've served with 39 different city councilors over the course of many years. Pardon me?
Yes, yes.
I didn't hear what you said, and my hearing is lost as well. I do happen to think that I don't want to be putting people in certain tiers or
How many
boxes.
years are you here in the city council here?
19.
19 years. Listen to
And I
that.
served with Council Severio,
Service
and
to
she sat right over there, and I remember her, and I was, so.
10
I-
terms?
Pardon me?
10 terms?
Who?
Yeah.
Yes, yep.
I know, because I counted each picture.
Yeah, yeah. You need 2 hands. And I would say that out of my colleagues, including the ones that are here today, Council Severio is an upper tier counselor. I'm not going to start ranking, but she was an individual who she was more than a counselor, is what you said earlier. So she was an impressive individual whose words were impactful, not only when she was in this chamber, but outside of the chamber as well. I would differ with my colleagues who take the position, and I respect my colleagues who take this position, but I disagree, essentially, in my opinion, that there are things that we can do while someone's alive to provide individuals that recognition, and we do that. We do things. We give them citations, we give them resolutions. We do things like that while they're alive so that we can celebrate them and that we can do it. There's something about time. If someone is as great as we think that they are, then that desire will be there even after they pass. And if you give them a few years, it'll still be there because their contributions are so significant that it won't quickly be forgotten. I'm not talking 20 years from now, but if that someone is that outstanding, it would be but a few years. So I'm one that does not particularly like going down the direction, because what happens is that there's a lot of pressure. I mean, we all know great people or people we think are great, and the time does not necessarily provide that same optic. Maybe Councilor Silverio is different. We don't do a lot who are alive, and I think there's a good reason for that. People around this table for many years have decided not to do that. And I realize that things change, right? And so maybe our thinking has changed now. I'm of the mind that says that if someone is that fantastic and deserving of that, that doesn't leave. That doesn't leave, and that story will remain. And as a matter of fact, it'll be powerful as well. So I'm concerned about where this is going. I happen to think that Councilor Silverio, frankly, while I know her, is an excellent choice. An excellent choice. But I'm just concerned about how we're going down this road. If we don't have, somebody says to me, Counselor, if you feel so strongly about that, why don't you put some criteria on there? I don't put the criteria on that. I'm curious as to why the mayor sent this down, what his criteria is. But the reason why is because I think that this group here, not 50 years ago, but 40 years ago, had a certain mindset. This group 20 years ago had a certain mindset. This group today has a certain mindset. And the group 20 years from now, it may have a different mindset than what we have here today. And we need to have that. I think we should all have if these counselors feel so strongly, then they should be able to go ahead and vote yes and have that if they want to give it to everybody who's alive today that live on whatever the criteria that they is. But the criteria has changed because it's deeply personal, and it should be. Because who I think is a fantastic person over the course of life may be different from someone else. And I don't want to create an ordinance that micromanages that. Because I think that ties our hands up on this council and succeeding councils. And I don't want to do that. So anyway, that's my soapbox comment on that. And I respect everybody's opinion. Feel free to differ. And feel free to differ. If you want to say something in opposition, go right ahead.
No, Chad, and sometimes I do agree with you, and I respect what you bring into the table, and like you said, time change, but there's certain people, let's say, that has inspired us so much, like Julio Silverio, like a lot of people, they are there, but it's at point in time, you say time is the time, and I agree, this is the time to bring her over and give her a piece of the land, basically, name a piece of Lawrence, which she have gave so much. Like a lot of people, they lost their life fighting for us, and we feel, entitled to recognize those people. I mean, but I agree, totally agree with what you're saying. But like you said, the time is changing. But that doesn't mean that anybody that it's alive and it's going to come up and we're going to recognize a person just because. So it has to have a track. To me, it has to have this track like Julia does. Isabel Melendez did it, and we did it for Isabel Melendez. Those are people that maybe for us, Hispanic people, they made a difference for us, and that's why maybe we here. They opened the path for us to be here. And I think it's time to recognize these people. I remember the time 30 years ago when you used to step in a city hall, and when you say hello, they send you to go get Isabel Melendez because nobody could translate. So that, 30 years after that, if I have a chance to recognize Isabel Melendez, I'm going to push it for do it. Julio Silverio decided to run in a place where it was not impossible, but it was hard to get in as a Latino woman, and she did it, and that's implied. Again, that opened the path to me to be here. She didn't do it that back in those days, I wouldn't be here at this time. And some of us, but I agree with your comments, and nothing to disagree on. It's just, like you say, different times. But we're not going to go the wrong path with that. And I think that the administration and also you, director, should be looking on a park near South Lawrence, where our chair and its council president lived. And before he passed, if he ever retires, we should grant it a park on his name because he deserves it. 20 years in here and doing well and still laughing. You see it. He has a track record. He is a history book. He's a history book, and that needs to be eventually recognized, even if he's still on the city council. And I mean, when you have a question of any of our veterans, if you go to Mark, he has the answer. Councilor LaPlante has the answer. So we need to be looking for a place, because I don't want to recognize Mark LaPlante on District C. No. He shouldn't have a park on District C. He should have a park near his house or near his place eventually, before he passes. Hopefully he lasts 100 more years.
We want to be a part of the whole project to make sure he receives the best area in South Lawrence we have, especially exactly. So we be in favor to working on that. But when we mention and go back and again, what does that mean to do D for Julia Silverio is not because she was a concern and represent our community. It's more than that. What my colleague mentioned is working hard in different time, and also women improve in different capacity to do different kind of business in our community, and developing different opportunity to our people too. So, but we are in favor to start the project to find out the path to our college.
No, but thank you. The body's still warm. Let's not, yeah.
That's what you want to allow. And you're absolutely 100% correct. I mean, one of the few people that you go to and you ask for comment, any questions, she's there with open arms, ready to answer. Just a District F committee man.
Our Bible. It's
Yeah.
the Bible.
Anytime
Let's focus,
I've never asked a question-
let's focus on Councilor Silverio. This is about Councilor Silverio. Please, let's not get off topic. So, anyway, I'm flustered. So let's, there's a motion on the floor. It's been properly seconded. I'm hopeful that if this thing gets to the full council for the next Thursday, that the family will be here. It's because of the election. Will be here, and how strong, Councilor Del Rosario? I know that this is on here for the Oxford paper site. Do you have a site in your mind that you think is a better site for her?
Take it through you, not the top of my head, but I know that it's, I mean, we have fields and stuff up in Tower Hill area. To me, it could be a better fitting. But if, I mean, this is what the administration wants to recommend and what they will recommend. I mean, they already did the work when it comes to the land. I don't want to prolong searching for something else if they already have it.
Okay. Motion, go ahead.
You wanted the family here for the next meeting?
I suspect that this is, I'm not exactly a Karnak, read the future here, but I suspect if it comes out of here and it goes to the full council, I don't see there's going to be anybody voting against it. So I suspect that it would be worth their while to be here, I would think.
Okay.
And it would make all the sense in the world because, and I think it's important because I think that you should submit what you have there. And as someone who's gone through the records to try to find the stories about the people who we've named things for, it's so helpful when I've come across their stories. And recently, there's not been a lot of stuff written about the people we've been honoring. And I think that while it doesn't make a difference today or tomorrow, I think it makes a difference in the future when someone says, "Who's this Silverio person and what's the deal there?" You know. And then they can go into our records and say, okay, well, this is all the stuff. This is the reason why the city council decided and this mayor decided to do it. And I think that's important because we're all going to be gone and there's a lot of stuff that's going to still be around and we're not going to be around to be able to shepherd people to why we think that this person was so good. Anyway, can you send, just put some stuff for the record, whether it's that sheet, and I hope that there's more. I would hope that when people speak on it that Thursday, that they can speak about some stories about the counselor and why, because we like stories, and she's got a lot. So why does the mayor, out of all the stories that are out there, his name's on this. Why does he want her name there? And don't save it for the ribbon cutting or for the dedication. He should say it here as well. Anyway, motion's been made and seconded. If there's no further discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Thank you, Director.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See you guys next Thursday?
Yes, sir.
I think Wednesday.
I thought it was Thursday. The 5th is a Thursday. The 5th is a Thursday. So, yeah, that's what I thought I read. Okay. Good night. Thank you, Director. You know, So I should have said this, and I thank Bill who just texted me this, and I'm going to take this. I know there's nothing on here, but I think it's important that we say this. We did name and provide something at the Veteran Stadium for someone who died several years ago now, in the 2000, maybe 3 years ago, Joanny Rosario Pichardo, who gave her life in Afghanistan, and we have a mural at the stadium that was dedicated to her in a beautiful ceremony. I think it's been 2 years now. And it's important. I think the anniversary date is like either today or right around this time. So I just wanted to make sure that we don't forget her story of sacrifice, as we talked about earlier. Thanks, Bill, for making sure we were aware of that. That's it. Thank you. If there's no objections, I'd like to move to document 40524, which is the, help me with this, celebration del Dia de la Biblia. The month of the Bible. Awesome. Give us your name and address and and what you're looking for, which I think is
Good
to use the
evening,
park.
God bless you all. My name is Maria F. Villa, live in 308 Lowell Street, Lawrence, Mass. But I attend at the congregation Iglesia Cristiana Metodista, 42 Park Street, Lawrence, Massachusetts. And I'm here in representation of the church I go to. We are requesting a special event permission or permit for Month of the Bible celebration. We, the Iglesia Cristiana Metodista, which is Christian Methodist Church, with the support of AMEDAL, the associations of pastors and other congregations of the city of Lawrence, will want to celebrate the month of the Bible, and we will want permission or authorization to raise a flag on September 12, 2024 at 10 a.m. And we also are requesting a permission for a march on Saturday, 9/28, 2024, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. to close the event of the celebration. We will want to march the park, the Campnon Park, here on Common, Haverhill, Jackson, and Lawrence Street. We will want to walk around the park with a different group of churches with banners and flags. Every church that will be participating, we will leave their temple wherever they are located at around the city, and we will meet at the park, at the Campnon Park, and then from there we will distribute, depending how many churches will participate, to be on the perimeter of the park, either every corner and probably covering the center of the park, reading the Bible, reading one of the Psalms of the Bible at a different location that we will be standing. And we will not need the supervision of the police, because we will have the assistance of the chaplains of the different churches, because we will be on the sidewalk, not on the street. And that's what we are requesting for this evening.
Questions, comments? Motions?
Motion to send to full council for favorable recommendation.
Motion's been made.
Second.
By Council Santiago, seconded by the Vice Chair. Discussion? So just, go ahead, you want to say something, Counselor?
Through you, Chair, I have raising the flag. September 10, you said?
The 12th.
The 12th?
September 12th at 10 a.m.
Is that?
We have nothing to do with the flag raising. That's strictly with the mayor's office. So you need to, there's an action application that they can provide for you, and then fill out the application. And as long as there's not some other flag being raised on that day, that's between the mayor's office and you. So
That's, yeah, that's why I raised the question, because I attend the church and my pastor is actually sitting here, and we want to raise the Christian flag. And I was going to go through that route. I didn't know if, and the paperwork was done that way. But yeah, we
we
go on
don't
that
have
route.
jurisdiction over that.
Yeah.
That's the mayor's office.
We're going on
jurisdiction.
that route. So I'll definitely take it on personal and trying to get that. If nobody, I expressed to the pastor, if nobody's raising a flag on that day, or there's no flag that needs to stand there for those days, we might get it. So
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
So all we provide permission for is the use of the common.
Okay,
We don't deal with the sidewalks, and we don't deal with the streets. That's a police department. So what you're going to do with those pastors, that's not a question necessarily for us, because the police department has jurisdiction over the streets and the public ways, which include sidewalks. We just have
Okay.
the parks. So
I will speak to them. Thank
yeah,
you.
you need to definitely speak to them, because if that's your intention, you definitely need to speak with them. I don't know if there's anything else here that is of interest. The most important thing is there anybody else using the common that day? I'm presuming that you've got clearance from recreation, and that's clear that night or that day? I don't see Adderley's name on here.
Okay, so yes, that day is available. The sister Grace, the one that requested the permit, she went to the senior center, I guess that's where the recreational department is, and they said that it was available that day.
Yeah, no, that's great news. I think it's important for us, just because I don't want things to be miscommunicated, that we get, just as a standard procedure, that we get something from the recreation saying, yes, the Campanion Common is available, and it's available for the group, and I'd like to get, I think that's important that we make that a standard procedure. Usually in these applications, it would have, it would have something like approved by somebody in the, I don't see that.
Okay, they did give us a permit project, but they asked us to come here as well.
And you're supposed to come here because we're the ones that issue the permit, not
Okay.
recreation. So just for the park, for Campanion, we're the ones that, this entire council does that.
Okay.
So, but what we do is that we, as a council, what we don't want to do is give four organizations that park, or we can't put any park at the same time, because we're going to have mayhem, and it's just not going to work out. So that's the reason why we, as decision makers, and we issue the permit, we want to know, is there anybody else having the permit that day? Because if that is the case, we may not support it, but if it's free, then we're probably going to say yes to it. So that's what we want to know, and it's important for us to have it as a standard procedure, not just you, but everybody that comes, that we have something from recreation saying that. So a letter, an
Okay,
email.
I mean, we do
What do you
have
got?
this, but I don't know how good this is. Like,
What
I
is
don't
that?
know.
Can we see that?
I don't know how official this is.
Sure. I mean, I'm pretty, whose writing is this?
¿Quién escribió el papel? Aquí en el City Hall. The City Hall, someone at the City Hall, pero donde esté la puerta 100. La puerta 100? 7, door 7.
Door 7.
Or maybe 107.
I don't know. Nobody want to see this? I mean, that's actually somebody giving you, what to do, and that's important to have, but that doesn't say that the common is free.
Okay.
So what we would like, you've got plenty of time. You've got it, just have Adderley Gonzalez, who's a recreation director, or somebody from that department, send an email to Eileen, to the clerk, so she puts it in our packet. That's probably the way to go.
Okay.
And if they want to include all the councilors as well, I mean, that's never a problem. That's great too.
Okay.
Go ahead, Counselor.
Through the chair. It's simple. Tomorrow, you go there to the office at the senior center,
Yep.
go back to the recreation department and say, listen, they're gonna see us on Thursday, but they need to make sure that the park is available for us. Can you guys email them and let them know? That's all.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds
And they'll
good.
do it. And if they can give you a copy of the email, just in case we don't get it on time and you have it, great.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. That's a great point, Counselor. That's right. All right, we're all set. So the motion's been made and properly seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. So now, it's going to be on our agenda for the September 5.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good evening.
All right. Is there anybody else here this evening? And thanks for coming, folks. Appreciate it. All right. Let's go to the top. Document number 4, up to the very top. Document, so that was sent to the full council. Now we're going to go to the top of the agenda. So document 40424 is handicap parking at 117 Oxford Street. Looking for a motion to send this to the police department for their review.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilor Santiago, seconded by the vice chair. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. No, that was sent up to the full council with a favorable recommendation. That one. Right, because we do think that they have it, and it's just a matter of them just producing it. So we did 404, Pat? We just did 404? We just did that one, yeah, please. 40724, lights on Lawrence Day, DV Awareness Month. Not sure what that means. What does DV Awareness Month mean? DV, don't know. Anyway, there's nobody here for this. So, look, it's on October 3rd. We'll have another meeting before that. Looking for a motion to table 40724 and invite the sponsor to our next ordinance
So
committee
moved.
meeting. Motion made by Council Santiago, seconded by the Council Del Rosario. Discussion? See none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. 40824. Whose district is this? Remove handicap parking at 117 Stearns Avenue. Let me read this. Oh, my goodness.
I think it's my district. Stans Avenue, that's my district.
You may want to read, did you read the letter? You may want to. So this is what happens. The counselors, the letter that we received from the petitioner tells the story of having a cordial relationship with someone who is handicapped, who has a handicap placard in front of their house, and the person with a handicap placard in front of their house, according to this letter, doesn't utilize the handicap parking, but rather parks in the driveway. And the individual who would like to see the handicap parking spot removed has been parking in the handicap spot and has been getting tickets. And now the person wants to have the handicap parking spot removed. So now we are in this really interesting place where I have no idea the actual person who's handicapped is using it or not. I have one version of the story. We all have one version of the story. We don't have the other version. There maybe is another version. I don't know. And it's not my district. Is it yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know my street.
Okay. So I don't mean to doubt that you knew that. So, Counselor, I would recommend. Did you want to look into this a little bit more?
Yes.
Okay. I would encourage us to, we can send it to the police department, but I don't know if we want to, no, we don't. I always have in mind, do we send it to police? Or no?
That would be my recommendation in this case. Send it back, that would be my recommendation in this case, send it back to his police department so they can actually talk to this lady, they actually requested it. I mean, that information is there and they can go back and say,
Okay,
do you
that makes
really,
sense.
do you really need it, you don't need
That
it,
work
you
for
know?
you? Does that work for you?
Yes,
Send the
because we
police
send
there?
it
Okay,
to the police
okay.
department and they can identify with the people request the
The
sign.
handicap, yeah.
Okay,
They
so,
need it enough, and after that, we
Okay.
can move forward.
okay. So the motion is, by whom? Who's making the motion?
Motion? Oh.
You want to make it to your district? Want to make it? All right, go ahead.
I want to make a motion to send to the police department and
For their review
for their review.
and report back to
and
us or something like that?
report
Sure.
back As soon as possible.
Okay. There's a motion made to send to police department for their review and to report back. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Council Del Rosario. Discussion. Seeing no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. All right. Next document is 40924, handicap parking at 63 Milton Street. Council Del Rosario, is that your district? No? Okay.
I think it did.
Mhm. So, looking for a motion to send this, they have a placard, so there's that. It expires in about a month, but they have a placard. Looking for a motion to send this to the police department for their review.
So move.
Motion made by Council Del Rosario, seconded by the Council Santiago. Discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Police Department. 410. I'm going to read this into the record. And it won't take long. I just happen to agree with this individual because we have an issue regarding density in vehicles. I'm writing to request assistance in obtaining a handicap parking pole. For 31 years, I reside at 23 Forest Street without any parking issues. However, for the past 12 years, the street has become increasingly overpopulated, leaving myself and others with disabilities struggling to find parking. My neighbors have kindly allowed me to use their driveways, but this is no longer an option due to their own parking needs. I kindly ask that this letter be considered with urgency to expedite the process of acquiring a designated handicap parking space. Looking for a motion.
Motion to send to the police station? Department.
Motion made to send to the police department for their review by Councilor Del Rosario, seconded by the vice chair. Discussion. Is that your district, Councilor? It is. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Is there any other matters before the council we wish to take off the table this evening?
Do we have any of these?
Oh, yeah. Let's take a look at these.
Do we have it on the agenda?
Oh, that's a good point. Well, in your packets, Council, thank you, Councilor Del Rosario, we have new police department reports. Some of them maybe so let's take a look and see if we can hunt them down, and if they are, see if we can deal with them. First document is 47923. Do you have it? You do?
Yes.
Where? Where,
Page
on the
4.
agenda?
Yeah. Page 4.
Yep. If there's no objection, we'll take 47923 out of order. Council Del Rosario, what's your, this is your district, I believe? Let's read it. I haven't read it yet. These are recommending that we send this to the city engineer.
Yeah, and then if I can recommend also that it's being uniform, the time. This is a time that it was requested by the DPW. Now they're restricting all, they'd be doing the time, so it'd be uniform, so 7 to 7, if they could be reflected, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Also, there's a park near there.
Did you want to, and this is going to be tricky, but we can do it. Do you want to make a motion to send this to send it to the police department? I'm trying to think. At some point, maybe we do it when it gets back. At some point, just remember that you want to amend this. We can amend it here, or we can amend it to full council. So just remember, it'd be kind of awkward if we do it now. Okay.
So motion to send to the city engineer for review?
Motion made by Councilor Del Rosario, second by the Vice Chair Reyes. Discussion? See no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Pat, that's 47923. Do you have that one? Okay. Got it? Okay. No, that's going to the police. Police. Yep, and that remains, these items remain tabled. It remains tabled. 1824.
The same page,
Okay.
on top.
If there's no objection, we'll take document 1824 off the table of matters. Seeing none, Counselor, what's your, you want to read it first? What's the?
Yeah, the motion is to send the city engineer to review.
There's a motion to send document 1824 to the city engineer for their review, seconded by Counselor Del Rosario. Discussion? See no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Pat, did you get that? City engineer referral and tabled. 3824, same page.
Yes.
Looking for a motion to send this up to the full council with a favorable recommendation to order a public hearing.
So move.
Second.
Motion made by the vice chair and seconded by Councilor Del Rosario. Discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Document 12924. Looking for, if there's no objection, we'll take this document out of order. This is for, pardon me? I'm looking. I should have done it beforehand, right?
Yes. Page 3.
Motion to send to the full council with a favorable recommendation to order the public hearing.
Second.
Do you see it? Where'd you see it? Oh, there it
Page
is, right here.
three,
There it is.
yeah.
Motion has been properly made and properly seconded. Made by Councilor Del Rosario, seconded by Councilor Santiago. Discussion. See no discussion, I'll call the question. Before I call the question, Councilor, you seem to be in tune with this, with what DPW is doing with their, is that, do we keep? 15, so we don't, so that's fine? Okay. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Full council, order a public hearing. 14024.
At the same page.
Thank you. Thank you. If there's no objection, we'll take 14024 out of order. Police Department recommends to us that we adopt this and grant it. Is there, this is your district. You want to make that motion, Counselor?
Yes. I want to make a motion to send to full council for favorable recommendation and police department
To order a public hearing?
and to order public hearing.
Second.
Motion's been made by Counselor Santiago, seconded by Vice Chair Reyes. Discussion. Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. That's 14024, public hearing. 15324, same page.
Motion to send to the full council with a favorable recommendation to order a public hearing.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Del Rosario, seconded by Vice Chair Reyes. Discussion. See no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Pat, that was 15324? 15324, okay. Thank you. 20924.
The same page.
If there's no objection, I'll take this document 20924 out of order. See no objection, I'm looking for a motion.
Motion to send to the engineer for review. And DPW also says. I'm sorry. Motion to send to the city engineer for review.
Second.
They go a little further than that, Council. Do you want to continue with that, or you want to just send it
Okay.
there?
Motion to send to the city engineer, the Lawrence Fire Department, Light Division, via city illustration and DPW for their review.
Motion's been made by Council Del Rosario, seconded by Council Vice Chair Reyes. Discussion. See none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Pat, do you have that one? You got all the names of the word that's going to? Okay. Do you have this, by the way? Fire Department, you have this packet, okay, good.
Same page.
Say thank you. If there's no objection, we'll take document 24724 out of order. Seeing no objection, looking for a motion.
Motion to send to the full council for recommendation to order a public hearing.
Second.
You did mention going to the city engineer.
And city engineer.
First. You want to try that again?
Motion to send to the city engineer.
Motion been made by Council Del Rosario to send it to the city engineer. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by the vice chair. Discussion? See no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Got that, Pat? Okay, got it. And all this is being tabled. It's tabled. No, that one right there is only going to go to the city engineer. That's it, just this last one, document 247, only the city engineer. Document 27824,
Same page.
same page. Got it, thank you. If there's any, is there any objection to take this out of order? See no objection, it is taken out of order. Looking for a motion.
Motion to send to the full council to refer recommendation, order public hearing.
Second.
Motion made by Council Del Rosario, second by Vice Chair Reyes. Discussion? See no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Public hearing, Pat, on that one? If there's no objection, we'll take document 27924. Seeing no objection is now taken out of order. Looking
I got it.
for a motion to withdraw.
Motion to send to the full council, refer recommendation to withdraw.
Motion to send to the full council with a recommendation to withdraw has been made and seconded by the vice chair. Discussion. See no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Our last one.
Page 2.
Oh, okay. If there's no objection, we'll take document 32824 out of order. Seeing no objection is taken out of order. Looking for a motion.
Motion to send to full council to refer recommendation, order public hearing.
Second.
Motion made by Council Del Rosario, second by Councilor Santiago. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Council, I just want to thank you very much for accommodating my schedule, for letting us have the meeting tonight. It means a lot to me, and I appreciate your courtesy. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Councilors Del Rosario, second by Councilor Santiago. Discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it.